Rebuilding self-trust is the quiet revolution that changes everything. Welcome back to Unfiltered Soul Surf. Today we're diving into something deeply personal. Aren't we always? Self-trust after betrayal. Because healing isn't just about forgiving someone else, it's also about finding your way back to yourself. There's a quote I came across by Malcolm Forbes. It says, "Too many people overvalue what they are not and undervalue what they are." So I've been reflecting on this deeply, especially in the context of self-trust. When I look back, honestly, there are two relationships that are glaringly obvious, but if I'm being brave and honest, probably more, that have thrived on a version of me I'm now willing to perform or conform to, right? A narrative, a role, a story that just no longer belongs to who I am right now. And what was asked of me wasn't always wrong. I sit and I think about it, and it saddens me a bit. Mainly because it's awareness. But it really is because within that specific dynamic, it wasn't mine to carry. It wasn't my role. And yet sometimes, I still feel myself slipping back into it. Whether it's out of habit, loyalty, old survival pattern. What's different now is I feel the slip in my body before it happens. A tightening of my chest. A pause. A quiet inner signal. It's like an early warning system reminding me that, listen, self-betrayal always announces itself long before your mind catches up. And ultimately, this is where rebuilding self-trust begins. How does betrayal erode self-trust? I think it's important to note that betrayal isn't always big and dramatic. Sometimes it comes in whispers and small actions, and sometimes it's self-betrayal too. Like you didn't want to react to a certain situation the way you did. A friend who uses your vulnerability as gossip. A partner who manipulates you using your triggers or your wounds. Someone who might say you're overreacting when your intuition is screaming for you to go in the other direction. It's subtle lies that distort your reality until you start to doubt your own memory. And this memory could be actual memory, it could be muscle memory, it could be body memory, because our bodies remember everything. So betrayal can look like anything. It could look like withholding the truth to keep you compliant, and vice versa. Using your healing against you. You know, I thought you were working on your triggers. See, you're being dramatic again. Or turning it even onto yourself, right? Weaponizing your own progress. You're supposed to be more conscious now, aren't you? Why am I acting like this? Moments of weakness twisted into character flaws. When you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, you're scared. And then someone decides to use it as proof that you're too emotional or unstable. Or gaslighting, slowly making you question your own perception. Now, all of these damage self-trust to a certain degree. And the main reasons why, it's because you start to begin to believe you are faulty, right? That little bit of self-doubt creeps in. You start to assume you've just misread situations. You shrink your voice, your truth, your boundaries to suit someone else's narrative. You mistrust your own emotional reactions even when they're accurate. You start over-functioning to compensate for someone else's lack of integrity. And this is how betrayal becomes internalized. We don't just stop trusting them. We stop trusting ourselves. So yes, we've identified what self-trust looks like, right? What damages it. But now that we're aware, how do we build it? Rebuilding isn't a lightning moment. It isn't something that happens overnight. It is commitment. It is practice. And it's a new way of relating to yourself. So a good place to start is start by keeping small promises to yourself. Forget the big overhauls, right? Especially this time of year when there's so much going on. Self-trust grows through micro habits. Drink that glass of water in the morning, go for the walk, put your phone down for 5 minutes. Light a candle, use your balm when your nervous system just feels loud. Do your breath work, because every time you keep a promise to yourself, your inner voice whispers, see, you can rely on me. See, you are safe. See, you are enough. You've got this. Secondly, I'd say listen to your gut without demanding actual evidence. You don't need concrete proof for every instinct. Your intuition on its own is a data point, and often the most accurate one. So start small. Does someone's presence drain or tighten you? Does your body contract when a certain topic comes up? A yes feel like a no? Let your body vote first, right? Listen to your gut. And then thirdly, surround yourself with safe people. People that you feel safe with. That you could feel where being is enough, right? Because healing self-trust requires experiencing relational safety again. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It's people who listen, who don't twist your truth, who don't punish your boundaries. Experience without trying to reshape it. Because safety teaches your emotion, your nervous system, that you are not crazy, you are not too much, you're not imagining things. Ultimately, self-trust doesn't arrive perfectly and suddenly. Long-term wise, it arrives a moment when you say no without explaining. A day when you choose to rest without guilt. A conversation where you don't backtrack your truth or feel a need to over-explain. Catching yourself before you override your instinct. It's normal to wobble. But wobbling doesn't mean you're failing. Rewiring yourself, and that takes courage. It isn't the absence of doubt. You're choosing yourself, even with the doubt. It's hard. Sometimes you could be the cause of someone else's wobble. Sometimes, if you are the cause, is it because you trusting yourself and your instinct? So when you trust yourself, you become unshakable. So an affirmation in closing that speaks to self-trust. Just remember, I honor my inner voice and act in alignment with it. Do yourself a favor this week, this month, this day. Ensure you keep one micro promise to yourself today, no matter how small. Until then, beautiful souls, trust your gut, live, peace.